Frankenstein is a Gothic novel written by Mary Shelley in 1818. It tells the story of a young scientist, Victor Frankenstein, who discovers the secret of life and creates a living creature, but then becomes terrified of his own creation. In 1816, Mary Shelley was living in Switzerland with her husband Percy Bysshe Shelley, Lord Byron, and other friends. There they accepted a challenge to write a horror story, which inspired Mary to create Frankenstein. At the time, topics like Galvanism, using electricity to move bodies, and occult sciences were being discussed, which laid the foundation for this story. The novel begins with letters written by Captain Robert Walton, who is on an expedition to the North Pole. Along the way, he finds a weak and exhausted man stranded on the ice, Victor Frankenstein, who then begins to narrate the story of his life. Victor is a resident of Geneva, Switzerland, who has been passionate about science and the mysteries of nature since childhood. While studying at the University of Ingolstadt, he works on the idea of creating life, and eventually assembles different body parts to create a living creature. However, the moment the creature comes to life, Victor is horrified by its monstrous appearance and abandons it. The creature wanders alone in the wilderness. It seeks love and acceptance, but faces hatred and violence everywhere. Secretly observing a rural family, it learns language, literature, and morality. But when it finally reveals itself, it is violently rejected. Crushed by this treatment, the creature decides to take revenge on Victor. It kills Victor's younger brother William, and a servant named Justine is wrongly blamed. The creature demands that Victor create a female companion so that it will not be alone. Victor initially agrees, but later destroys the female creation, fearing the spread of a new race. Enraged, the creature murders Victor's friend Henry Clerval and later his bride Elizabeth on their wedding night. After losing his loved ones, Victor chases the creature, a pursuit that leads to the Arctic regions. There, Victor falls ill and eventually dies aboard Captain Walton's ship. Later, the creature arrives, mourns Victor's death, and declares that it will now destroy itself to prevent further harm. Victor Frankenstein is a scientist who creates life but cannot handle the consequences. The creature is intelligent and sensitive, yet hated and rejected by society. Captain Robert Walton is the explorer who hears Victor's story. Elizabeth is Victor's fiancée. Henry Clerval is Victor's best friend. William is Victor's younger brother. Justine is a servant wrongly accused of murder. Frankenstein is considered the first science fiction novel in the world. The story has inspired hundreds of films, plays, and novels. Many mistakenly refer to the creature as Frankenstein, though it is actually the scientist's name. The novel continues to raise deep questions about science, ethics, and humanity even today. Frankenstein is not just a horror story. It is a philosophical,